Starry nights light up the night sky. For today we have Slifer, the Sky Dragon, Novox, and honestly, some interesting combinations with Lightsworn and some other goodies. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. OCG goodness for this week. You know, I didn't think we would see Starry Nights actually showing up out here to be this interesting little meta challenger, or at least something worth exploring to talk about here. But you've got Stick Chair in here. Yes, you gotta love Stick Chair. I also love when you look at some of these slightly more creative decks here, that you see something like Bottomless Trap Hole here, actually kind of showcasing, going, hey, you know, like, it's gonna actually do something. I love this extra deck, by the way. Like, we have Queen Dragoon in here. You have your entire Utopia package. Like, I don't know, it's just interesting to see the ideas that, you know, you can kind of bring to the table. Also, you know, Starry Night, Starry Dragon, being able to be just a pretty strong asset for you along the way. Alright, be honest with me here for a second. I understand that this is not a top meta contender. Alright, but it's Starry Nights, and you have to appreciate the effort that these builds tend to try to mess around with out here and try to challenge, especially, you know, when the meta kind of slumps down into an infinite cesspool of fire. And, you know, like I said, I know this card might not look like the best thing this side of the world, but you know what? I've noticed a little bit of, you know, the Trap Tricks builds actually abusing this card. It's been pretty strong. Alright, what else we got back here? Slifer, the Sky Dragon! With, you know, I might not have realized this or not, but you can transaction rollback the Revived Sky God, which gets you a Slifer the Sky Dragon back from the graveyard, and then it gets us a free draw till we have actual 6 cards in our hand. Yeah, we've come full circle here, actually. That's kind of actually insane that we can... Transaction Rollback continues to pique my interest as a card, because now you're telling me that, like, this really weird deck can actually do this. I mean, the biggest things here are, like, you're going to have to randomly get to the value of Grasslook Screener to get the Slifer down, which is, like, maybe my only real complaint about playing a deck like this is the value to see the random RNG. You're already playing 60. I mean, you have to be anyway because you're trying to play a cheese deck like this, and unfortunately, you know, you're going to have to high roll a little bit, but that doesn't take away from the fact that if you are able to see something like this with the Revived Sky God, you just kind of steamroll your opponent. Also, a defensive Slifer, I mean, checks everything underneath 2,000, so I mean, that seems pretty decent in and in itself, right? Alright, what else we got going on back here? I should have known that there'd be a time where people are going to try to combine the Snake Eyes stuff with Low and Friends. Here's the thing. Alright, yes, I understand that we are playing 60 cards. Alright, but here's the thing. Like, this package doesn't do anything to lock you. I think it's like the thing that makes people, like, interested in wanting to explore these weird combinations. I mean, look at the TCG. We've got people right now testing out Branded with, you know, Low, trying to get, you know, this voiceless build off of the ground and get it working. Now, is it going to be the most consistent creature in the whole wide world? I mean, not all the time, but it can get there. Plus, I mean, with the Snake Eyes package, you basically can do all the normal little Flamberge combos, yeah, the unfair stuff that comes with the territory of this little Jerkosaurus Rex here. But honestly, going through and making these challenging boards, I think can get you into a pretty good position. Also, Mr. Big Diabellstar, Snake Eyes, Chungus 10,000 here. This card actually has been seeing a huge amount of play in these builds. Actually, I think this card challenges a lot of the norms. People being like, oh, you don't need to play any of the new stuff. Yes, play Big Pobbler Man. It is a very strong card for what you want to see. So, your hybrid packages, everybody. So hilarious. All right. We're playing Melodious cards with Ostinato. Well, first of all, I mean, Ostinato is a broken card. Like, there's There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this thing. Because if you high roll this thing, you just slap your fusion on the table, your opponent looks at you and goes, what am I supposed to do about this? Like, what do you mean I have to clean up this field? Well, you have to find a way to do it. Also, to be fair, the Grand Choir, being able to banish and then spot removal multiple options, that's the reason why this deck even has a place as a meta-relevant or an anti-meta choice, because the bounceability options, this card's also pretty good for what it wants to be, but I just find it interesting that they chose to mix these two decks together in a way to be able to do its thing, because, I mean, Martha just kind of punishes you for, Exceed stuff. But you know what? Interesting, to say the least. What else we got back here today? This is Blue Eyes Dragon Link? Oh, with the Guard Dragon Justica. It's a normal monster. I mean, there's our Ib. Okay, so we are doing standard Ib combo line here to make sure that, you can get to the Justicar and be able to climb up. I just find it funny that we're actually playing the Guard Dragon normal monster. But, I mean, hey, it's a dragon. You gotta appreciate the craziness of this. Also, Synchro Rumble. It actually surprises me more people don't try to play Synchro Rumble just because, as you're going through your combo lines, being able to set up a free monster along the way so maybe you can use it as an extension piece or something. I think that's pretty important. I also see, we're playing Raigeki out here as well. You have a lot of utility traps down here in this side deck to make sure that you can overcome any of the BS that might be entering into the format here. But this is a good showcase of all of these different engines coming together here and actually being able to work. I think this is pretty cool. All right. Oh, Tenpai Dragon with Eldritch and an Inspector Border? Okay, so hold up here. So if we go first, we Inspector Border / Eldritch Floodgate our opponent out. If we go first. If we go second, then we Tenpai Dragon OTK them? That has to be the logic behind this list. I mean, in theory, if you could draw the perfect hand for this, let's see, look at these open hands. Oh, okay. If I'm going first, that's gas, but no going second options. Hey, look, if I'm going first, we're good. Hey, look, border. Okay, well, clearly if I go first with this deck, I do see that we do get a manner going second. That does actually help along the way. Okay, I'm not drawing good with this, but the theory behind this deck, kind of funny, actually, and it could actually work out, but who knows? Oh man, we're at this point in the deck profile now where we have Necrofaces actually showing up. Okay, well, first of all, this is a cute idea. Every time Necroface has tried to do something relevant, I feel like it's a little bit hit or miss, but what is this? What are we doing here? Why are we playing the pendulum scales? Is it because they're entirely generic? Is it because they just speed up the process for the deck? That has to be it, right? Like, this has to be a case of, hey, look at this, we can turbo on through, hey, you want to be able to set up this big field and be able to do your thing? This will let your pendulum summon all your terrible Lightsworn cards. I mean, yeah, in theory. I also find it interesting citing the Maxi. Also, poor No Fusion Dragon. Poor guy doesn't get any love. But hey, you know what? Punishment Dragon's clearly the better card. I mean, realistically, it probably is the best option. And the last as we have for you today, we have the Melodious, good stuff, with Dual Sulfa Chord. Okay, so we have Sulfa Chord with Melodious, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't really considered options of trying to do this. I mean, Ostinato is just an absolutely broken card. You gotta love to see this. Why is this in here? What are we doing with our lives? What has possessed us to play Zoopity Zark in our deck? You know what? I appreciate the effort. I love the idea that we're basically playing a dimensional ARG-V style deck, but okay, sure. Alright, that is all that we have for you this week. These are some slightly more interesting lists than maybe, we've kind of had fairly recently, but I think options are a good showcase of change and for diversity for the games. Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.